Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching today. The title of the show is the question, is the bottom in? Was that it? Are we going to see that 73K Bitcoin and possibly lower or not, or was that it? And are we going to resume the bullish momentum here? I'm going to answer that question and a whole bunch more. But before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments that you take the time to write, and I take the time to read them and respond. So I've shared a lot about this over the last couple of days, and I had tweeted about this earlier on X here, and some of the indicators that we've gone over in the show and some of the things that I've been looking for, obviously. And we got the weekly close last night, and that was bullish in my opinion. We've broken above the trend line resistance. We've got above the 50-day moving average and 200 EMA on the daily, historically huge indicators to get above. We've seen a stochastic RSI breakout on the weekly time frame. Again, another huge big green check for Bitcoin being bullish. And of course, we've now seen a higher high on a daily. We'd like to see also a higher high on the weekly. And of course, currently, well, as I'm recording this, was testing the 20 EMA on the weekly. We're going to check that out in a moment. So let's look at the charts here and just see that some of the things. And of course, you know, the hash ribbons buy indicator. The last time that flashed was back here, and Bitcoin was in the $60,000 zone. Okay, so certainly the Bitcoin's hash ribbons indicator has given us that buy signal. We do now see the stochastic RSI when the blue line breaks above the red line on the weekly time frame and breaks over the 20 line there, which it has now done all of those things. Historically, that has been a very good time to buy. You can see the last time this happened again was back there when Bitcoin was around 60K there. Now, of course, it doesn't mean that we're out of the woods. Anything could happen today with the tariffs and the Fed. Certainly, it could be good news, it could be bad news, and that could rock the market, but we love this candle here. So there's the Tribal Trades trend line, one line to rule them all, okay? And of course, we had this other, the support, Tribal Trades trend line support did hold up beautifully for support, and I did say to you I was adding in these areas, and I also told you that I was adding at these key support areas down at the 50-week moving average and the 50 EMA at the weekly. And I added at all these areas because those who try and pick bottoms get smelly fingers. So a dollar cost average in those areas, and that has paid off in a big way right now. And as Bitcoin begins to move higher, I am going to share my Bitcoin strategy when I do feel that the top is into the cycle, what I plan on doing with my Bitcoin. I'll also be sharing that first in the Discord in the next couple of days. So make sure if you haven't signed up for the Discord, there's links below in the description. You click the more button there to get started there. But you can see there's the Tribal Trades trend line resistance that goes all the way back to January of 2025. You can see it's a legit resistance that Bitcoin got above, had a weekly close, had multiple daily closes, had a weekly close. And I also remember the Gaussian channel, again, historically, when this gets touched, it doesn't go down into it, has been historically a good time to buy. When was the last time that happened? Back in the 60,000. So we have the same indicators, the stochastic weekly RSI breaking bullish. We have the hash ribbons indicator flashing by. We have a touch of the Gaussian channel. We had a touch of the 50-week moving average. Four things that have happened now and have held this. For me, it feels more likely that the bottom is in, okay? Now, nothing is guaranteed and nothing is certain. We always trade on probabilities, and I can tell you right now, it's a higher probability that the bottom is in, and now we see some upside. Now, how much upside is the question? That's a great question. I'm so glad you asked. Is this just going to be a little bit of a relief rally, a bear market rally, and then could we capitulate to the downside? Absolutely. Let me show you where the dangers possibly are and what we need to do next. Okay, so we're on the weekly time frame, the 20 EMA. Now, I told you historically in a bull market, buying Bitcoin between the 50, which has moved up a little bit there, the 50 EMA on the weekly and the 20 EMA on the weekly has always turned out to be good in a bull market. If we are still in a bull market, I believe that we still are. So this was the area that I was accumulating Bitcoin here, and I've been sharing with you exactly what I've been doing and why. And everything that I have shared with you has ended up being correct. And if you had followed the trades, you would have been in the money. So the 20 EMA on the weekly, now we've only just breached that today, so it's a little bit early. What I will want to see is multiple daily closes over the 20 EMA on the weekly, even a weekly close on Sunday coming up over the 20 EMA on the weekly. And by that time, of course, Bitcoin could be well above. We don't know. I may not necessarily. Look, I've already been adding trades, okay? And I added some more Bitcoin over the weekend around these areas because after we got above the 50-day moving average, and of course I front run the trade because I did feel we were going to get a bullish weekly close. I feel everything was lined up for there to be some momentum to the upside. Now, here's the line in the sand right here, the 200-day moving average. Historically, if there has been downside like we've seen, and we've not been able to get above that, and we've rejected there, then we have gone into a bear market. And I'm going to go back and show you exactly, very quickly, go back to 2021, how important this 200-day moving average is. All right, we just used our time machine to jump back to 2021. So you can see here the April 2021 drop. We came down and we did all the things that we're doing now. Okay, we had the hash ribbons indicator flash, we hit the Gaussian channel, we hit the 50-week moving average, all those things that are happening right now, or just happened right now. And then we broke above, which is what's happening right now. We got above the 20 EMA on the weekly, which is what's happening right now. And then when we hit the 200-day moving average, boom, baby, we were through. We came back for a retest, and then we made a new all-time high. Okay, then let's look at what happened for a confirmed bear market. Here we go here as we come up and we come down and we have first of all, we've come into the Gaussian channel and broken through. That didn't happen. Okay, so that has come and broken through. But then when we came back up to retest the 200-day moving average, clear rejection, and then we capitulated downside to the bear market. So it looks to me, the setup that we have right now looks to me more like this and less like this over here. I don't believe we're in a bear market. I don't think we're going into a bear market. Yeah, maybe we had a bit of a mini bearish trend there. I do think it looks a lot more like the April 2021 drop, and that we could see a new all-time high, or we could get up and test those upper regions on Bitcoin there. Now, of course, we're not out of the woods yet. We still do have to get up to the 200-day moving average. Just jump forward back in our time machine to current day. That's sitting at 88,270. But also, if we want to make a higher high in the weekly time frame, we've got to get above 88,500. So those will be the two big areas. If we can get above 88,500, we'll be above the 200-day moving average. And also, we'll make a higher high on the weekly. We've made a higher high on the daily already. Okay. Now, of course, the 200-day moving average, we'll have to wait until Sunday for some kind of weekly close to see whether we close under it or whether we close above it. And I'll give my update on my thoughts right now. Right now, my thoughts are bullish. Right now, I'm going to say that I believe the bottom is in. I think it's likely the bottom is in, and we're going to see some kind of upside. How much upside? So let's just pretend that in a week's time, we've broken above the 200-day moving average and we've had a weekly close above the 200-day weekly average. What would be my next target to the upside? $96,000 region, $97,000 region. That's where we could really come up to there. We had a lot of, you can see here, just very strong. That's also where the 618 is on this Fibonacci here at that $96,000 level. So that's going to be huge. Obviously, 90,000 is going to be a big level, by the way. Don't get me wrong there. You know, that we were in that range for so long, between 90 and 100,000. And so really to get back into that range. Now, can Bitcoin make a new all-time high? I'm not going to cover that in today's video. I'm going to wait till we've seen some other confirmations before we tackle that. But that would what I want to see after 88. We've got the 90. And then from there, I think recovering this here, and I think we will. There's a bit of a fair value gap there between 88,000 and 94,000. So I would say that we fill that gap or fill that gap partially, but this 96,000, this is where we kind of broke down from. We had a lot of indecision candles here, bears and bulls fighting it out there. Even this candle here, huge indecision candle before we finally broke down right at this level here at about 96,200. So that's going to be a big level there, a big line in the sand. And let's jump over to the follow the yellow brick road. We're going to follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Just quickly have a look. Oh my gosh, how much liquidity is to the upside. If you're the market maker, I'm telling you, you're coming for that, because I'd be coming for all of this as well. Yes, there is liquidity to the downside, and yes, it looks possible that they've left the 73K behind, unless it's just a dead cat bounce up into the 200-day moving 88 before we capitulate into a bear market. That is a possibility. Just because I believe that the bottom is most likely in doesn't mean that it is. I would say this, last week I was 75, 80% the bottom is in. Now we've had the Sunday close. I'm going to go more with 90% that I feel that the bottom is in and 10% that it's not, and they could come down and grab that. But I just look at all of this to the upside, all the way up to 110,000. There are billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars there to be taken, a huge amount of money. I haven't even added all this up, and this is for Binance, but I would say there's at least 50 million to the upside, possibly 50 billion, if not. And then down here, there's probably about 10. So I just feel that there's more incentive for this market to get taken to the upside. And I think that the bottom is most likely in, okay? Now, one of the coins that we've been trading, one of the signals that I gave in the Discord was Potenza Tau, only 21 million supply. Barry Silbert, who was buying Bitcoin at $11, the Michael Saylor, before Michael Saylor, and he's gone all in on Potenza Tau, only 21 million supply. It's an AI blockchain. Its mines are like Bitcoin. And I gave the buy signal in the Discord at $233. Down here, we actually in a live trading session, we took the trade together, and look at that's gone up like a rocket ship all the way up to, it's kind of found a little bit of a top there just temporarily up at around 341 there. And so you can see in the Discord there's been some incredible gains here. We've got Aussie friend in here doing some incredible trades. I love this testimony here, because he's only been doing leverage trading for a month. Came into the Discord, learned leverage trading, and I believe he made $10,000 over the weekend leverage trading there. And you can see some of his trades there, $100 there, $100 there, $700 there as well. And then there's a big one here for $1,300 as well. And when you think of it, the Discord costs you less than a cup of coffee, costs you about $1.50 a day. And of course, come in. These are the trades. Look, I give these trades every single day. These are the trades that I gave for the Tau. Current price 231, and then the breakout entry was 233 there. And I've given new trades for today there as well, and new setups. And those that are taking the trades are making the money and getting the wins. We've got the stocks plays section, just a very, very encouraging place there. You can see all the latest trades there as well. And so just want to share with you, look, if you're not in the Tribal Trades Discord and you'd love to be a part of that, there is a link below in the description. I shared how to get it earlier there, and you can sign up and become part of the Tribal Trades Discord. One Discord to rule them all. And I'm also part of the Stocks with Josh Discord as well, giving trade setups into education and some resources, some insights, and of course, entertainment, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And look, even if you don't know anything about leverage trading, which is showing you how to win when the market goes up, and also how to win when the market goes down or sideways, whatever direction the market is moving, you can learn how to leverage trade responsibly. No, you don't need to do trading full time or a 9-to-5 job. We show how people who have 9-to-5 jobs can make money and make great money. In fact, you could have taken the 233 trade and back on Tuesday, and now we're on Monday, 6 days later, and you could have just taken profit now 6 days later. You could have gone to your job on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, enjoyed Easter weekend, and then taken big profits on your trade there. And of course, we have live trading sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and sometimes on the weekend. We had a great trading session on Saturday, just 2 days ago, as well, with the community for all those people who work 9-to-5. There's opportunities there to do live trading sessions with me as well. All right, well, that's all I have time for today. And of course, as always, until the next episode or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.